The most underrated dinosaur from Tier Zoo. We did a whole intro before. We argued about alligators and dinosaurs and descendants.
Alligator's not a dinosaur.
Yeah, but its, ancestor was a fucking dinosaur.
I bet you they're not. How much you want to bet? I bet you 5 kisses
on my face.
I bet you 5 kisses on your face. They're not dinosaurs.
Huh?
Though they belong to the same order as dinosaurs once did.
Right.
Their ancestors were closely related to dinosaurs and walked the earth at the same time.
Right.
But they were not dinosaurs. 5 kisses on my face.
They are related to dinosaurs.
I'm just saying I'm
Give
right.
me a kiss.
So you owe me a kiss. No, you owe me a kiss.
No, you give me a kiss.
No, you owe me a kiss.
I didn't get my kiss, so I turned the goddamn video off. We went over, what? T-Rexes, Tyrannosauruses, long nexuses. Velociraptors. It's none of those, right?
And the one that was in the water, but was eating things.
Yes. From the movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
With the big fucking teeth.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I just don't have a name for it.
Don't know what it is.
So that's what it's not. So what is it? The most underrated dinosaur.
It's those little dinosaurs that ate that baby.
Campies?
Yeah, is that what they were called?
I think so.
Yeah, they ate that baby in the second Jurassic Park?
I'll give that to you. That's actually a pretty good one. All right, let's see.
I've been getting a lot of requests to start posting actual gameplay in addition to my usual character build guides and tier lists, so today I thought I'd share a VOD of an old playthrough I did back during the Cretaceous expansion. I'll be discussing my choices and actions as they come up, so hopefully this will give you a sense not only of how the dinosaur meta really played out, but maybe even give you some strategy ideas for your current playthrough, even though many of the builds featured in this VOD have either been banned or severely nerfed. If people end up enjoying this style of video, I might do some more, maybe even show you all which builds I'm running in the Anthropocene meta. Anyways, that's enough introduction. So here we are running a rather atypical dinosaur build called Dinochirus. A quick look at my stats shows that despite the fact that I'm not playing as a carnivore, I'm actually running a much more offensive build than you might expect.
Okay, that was a good sentence. Let's look through this real quick.
Moveset: Claw Swipe, Bite, Intimidate, Slam.
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
Sense surroundings. Reveal other players on the mini-map. That's fucking busted.
That's cool.
Incubate. Cures frostbite. Bro, you could just sleep through cold?
Okay, those are locked. So that one's locked, and the other one that's locked is the mating display. Okay.
All right. Yeah, nice.
I've spec'd into powerful claws, which will hopefully be enough to deter predator players. My intelligence stat isn't too spectacular, but it's enough to give me access to the parental instincts trait, which is super useful for completing the main quest.
Okay.
For those who don't know, the main quest in any playthrough of the game is to reproduce. And parental instincts can help you earn bonus evolution points in exchange for giving your offspring care and protection. That's endgame stuff though. Right now, using my solid perception abilities, I've detected a pack of Tarbosaurus players who appear to be looking for PvP. As you can probably see, I've had trouble dealing with PKers in the past. Even though I survived my previous encounter, the wound ended up giving me a pretty severe debuff to my max HP. So instead of trying to take this clan of Tarbosaurus on, this time I'm gonna try a more evasive strategy. It'd be really nice if my teammates would get their act together.
It's these ones.
Since if we actually all grouped up,
the big chickens,
we'd be able to mount a defense potentially strong enough to repel these predator players. But unfortunately, you never really can count on your teammates in this game, so for now it looks like my only real option is to escape. I wish I had time to level up just a few more times, because right now, my base speed stat is lower than it needs to.
T-Rex hunt in packs?
That's not a T-Rex, is it?
It's the smaller one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have, huh?
Yeah,
Got a high enough endurance stat that these
ones.
Tarbosaurs would run out of stamina long before I do.
Wait, what did he call it?
But unfortunately, enough endurance stat that these Tarbosaurs would run out of stamina long before I do. But unfortunately, they're closing the distance far too quickly for that to be a relevant factor.
Yeah, because you're running slow!
Thankfully, the leading Tarbosaurus player misses both of his attacks here, giving me one final chance to escape. I could keep running, but obviously they perfectly landed an attack. In this case, the fact that I'm next to a cliff gives me a very risky option. One that's basically only preferable when the alternative is certain death at the jaws of the Tarbosaurus clan. The fall dealt serious damage and also inflicted a temporary stun on me, but thankfully the Dinochirus build has high enough base HP that even in my already moderately damaged state, I could still tank the damage.
Jesus.
The same fall would probably deal lethal damage to a Tarbosaurus build though, so it looks like they decided to go after my teammates instead. I would go help them, but First of all, it looks like I'm too late. And second of all, it's their fault for leaving me behind in the first place. My goal now is to try to heal and to grind for XP to level up. My main quest is still to reproduce, but short term, once again, it's probably more important that I focus on survival. In only a few more levels, I unlock the mating ability, which is the first real step in finishing the reproduction quest. So hopefully it won't take too long to get the XP required to level up. Here we are in the forest biome, which is one of the best places to be if you are... Unfortunately, leaves are pretty poor XP per hour, so even with this advantage, it'll still take me a while. But at least I'll replenish some of my lost health in the process. This is pretty crucial since an ambush, even from a weaker player, could cost me the game when my health is this low.
Imagine being a creature for which eating replenishes your energy. When we eat, we just go to sleep.
We eat canes. We eat chicken katsu from name some. That sounds really good right now. Name some Hawaiian restaurant.
Yeah.
Nap time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indian food. Oh my god. And
the
it's
sleep.
so good. It's so good.
The sleep from Indian food is just sublime, really.
One time, Chavez and I ordered in Indian food because we had work to do.
Yep.
And we had plans later that night. Our friends had invited us out.
Sure did.
And we ate the Indian food. We're like, okay, we'll eat first, then we'll do our work.
And then we'll go to the event.
Out.
What a fun-filled night of things to do. And what happened? We ate samosas and some buttered chicken.
Oh, it was so
and some curry.
And then it was the next morning.
We woke up. We both woke up. TV was still on, playing some kind of Twitch stream, and we were like, so we canceled. Text messages all on the phone.
But that food was good.
So good.
It's important to run stealth checks on your surroundings every so often so enemy players can't easily sneak up on you. Advanced perception abilities can aid in this, but my character doesn't have any of those. Still, I've detected a Protoceratops burrowing nearby. This player doesn't seem too territorial, and even if it was, it wouldn't pose too much of a threat to me, since it's in a lower weight class than I am. I'm not a big fan of the Protoceratops build since it relies on the burrowing trait and herding behavior to avoid attacks. This means it's pretty vulnerable when grinding for XP.
No, go back.
And forces you to rely on your teammates, which, as I've said before, can be pretty hit or miss. It looks like both of us are just trying to grind XP at the nearby lake, so no sense initiating any sort of combat right now.
Badass lake, goddamn.
At the lake, a quick stealth check reveals nearby players and gives us a pretty good sense of the local meta. We've got the typical mobility/evasion-based builds like Avamimus, the tank builds like the Titanosaur, and wackier, more niche builds like the House.
That's a Titanosaur?
Mimus.
I thought that was a Stegosaur. My whole life, I thought that was a Stegosaurus Rex.
The tank builds like the Titanosaur, and wackier, more niche builds like the Hellscaraptor, a diving build whose techniques pioneered many of the modern waterfowl builds of today's meta.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, now that my character's thirst meter is topped up and I'm no longer in danger of incurring dehydration penalties, I think it's time I demonstrate one of the Dinochirus build's main advantages.
Okay.
So far, I haven't really done a good job showing why bipedalism is such a great trait.
Right.
My character's forelimbs were shown earlier as being useful for reaching the leaves and branches that would normally be out of range. But forelimbs can be used for much more than that.
Like washing hands. Also, scratching knees. It's good for that also.
You can probably guess that they'd be great in combat too, even though I opted to flee from those Tarbosaurus players.
Right.
However, they can also be used for fishing.
God, Jesus.
I got pretty lucky here connecting my attack on the fish, since if I'd missed, my stealth advantage would be gone, and the other fish players would have probably all scattered. Fish are worth way more XP than leaves are.
Okay.
So the Dinochirus build being omnivorous and having the ability to actually catch fish really does set this build apart from other more basic bipedal herbivores. It levels up much quicker because of this elevated XP rate, and that's why I'm already at the level required to unlock the mating ability.
Okay.
So it's time to start the next section of my quest.
Fucking. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
this is a tears video. I can't.
This is such a wholesome video. But yes, he will be reproducing with another land duck, fingered land duck. Jesus Christ.
One of the more controversial things about the reproduction questline is that in order to start it, you generally have to waste a few evolution points on unlocking cosmetics. Aesthetic buffs like more colorful feathers don't have much of an impact on gameplay, but the sad fact is that since the mating ability requires cooperation with another player, and because your offspring's stats are determined by the average between your character's stats and your partner's character, it's generally a good idea to find a partner who can afford to waste a few evolution points on pointless cosmetic upgrades, since this means they probably already have stats that were good enough to get them this far in their playthrough.
Okay.
This player here has wasted their evolution points on blue feathers, a pretty expensive cosmetic upgrade, meaning they'd make a great choice to complete this part of the quest. If this player is also working on their mating quest line, they might pick my character as a partner, in which case they'll activate their mating display ability. Looks like that's exactly what's going on.
I wanted him to be making the noises so bad.
Same.
Yeah.
If I want to accept his request,
I also kind of thought he was gonna do jazz hands.
I have to also activate my mating display ability, which initiates the rhythm game portion of the quest.
Oh! Ha! It's dancing. Is that good enough?
That's pretty cool. Yes! That's cool.
That's so funny, dude. Stamina slowly draining.
I was gonna say, look at the stamina bar!
The stamina bar is drained.
It's pretty short, and once it's over, the quest objective should update automatically, saying that I've completed that portion of the reproduction quest. For players who chose a male character, the reproduction quest actually ends here. It's much easier and can be completed an unlimited amount of times per playthrough,
That's a lot
but
of
it's worth
eggs.
far fewer evolution points than the female's quest is. Players with female characters have to actually ensure that their offspring hatch and reach the age of independence in order to complete the quest.
You think you'd be smarter
Since
to
my
bury
character
the
is
eggs,
female,
right?
unfortunately this means the difficulty of this quest will only increase from here on out, starting with the long, grueling objective defense section. To complete this section, all I technically have to do is make sure I spend at least 80% of my game time on the objective.
Dang,
This
80!
ensures the eggs get
80%.
incubated and hatch with normal base stats and no congenital debuffs. This sounds simple, but it gives you very little time to forage for food to keep your health and stamina topped up. I should probably mention one of this build's traits that I haven't touched on yet, feathers. Most players assume feathers are only useful for those who feature the flight ability prominently in their playstyle, but their usefulness in that regard wasn't discovered until later. In the early Cretaceous meta, most players spec'd into feathers because they grant an incubation time bonus, shortening the duration of the objective defense portion of the quest.
You can only cover so many of
One
your
of the toughest
eggs.
parts of this quest
Especially when
line
you
is
put
that
them
even
in
the
a
slightest
fucking
lapse
circle.
of vigilance can cost you greatly.
Right.
Here, some raptor players were scouting my nest, and since I'm not part of a herd, they saw my eggs as an easy target.
Not the
Pick up the final enemy, but I got a little greedy and tried to finish the third raptor off first.
The babies, no!
This
look
let the
for
fourth raptor take the
babies!
objective for a brief moment.
One dead.
I noticed my mistake pretty quickly and used an intimidate move to retake the objective, but unfortunately I lost one of my eggs, meaning I can't get the 100% completion achievement on this playthrough. That's alright though, hatching 39 of 40 eggs is still worth a ton.
God damn!
Yeah, it's a lot. I thought it was going to be like 30. You know?
I managed to not get attacked at all
way
during the
less.
rest
I'm
of the
dumb,
objective
I guess.
defense section of the quest. Now begins the hardest part of the game, the Escort Mission.
Which are always the worst kind of mission, and always.
I might
Because
just not
why
play
is the
games
person
again.
you're escorting so stupid every
Just
time?
make the AI mad simple. It's next to me the whole time.
All the time. Don't wander off. Oh my
If they're
god.
shooting, it stays undercover. Too
Yeah!
long. Even.
After finishing with incubation, the new players spawn in with stats randomized mostly between my own stats and whatever stats that male Dinochirus build had. There's also a chance that the mutation effect will occur, which would let a stat get randomized outside of its normal potential range. But there's no way of controlling that.
You talk too damn.
Anyways, in this section of the
Talking about
quest,
the kid?
you have to keep your own
Damn.
low-level teammates alive.
He ain't stopped talking since he left the fucking
Stop
egg.
cussing in my video.
The dang egg.
Level up enough to be able to survive on their own. Some builds can survive on their own even at level 1,
They are
but
so
most
small.
dinosaur builds need at least a bit of
There are
early
so
game
many.
protection. This part can take a while, so I'm gonna skip some of the boring parts.
Thank you. Oh, but you're gonna die.
You're gonna bleed out.
By successfully defending my party, everyone in my party gets an XP bonus, causing my brood to level up to the point of self-sufficiency. And just
you
in time
die.
too, because the bleeding effect of the bite eventually wipes out my last sliver of
Man.
HP. Having successfully finished the reproduction quest, I get the good ending to the game, rack up a ton of evolution points, and actually came pretty close to outright winning a 1v1 with a fully leveled giant
You
carnivore.
did win, really?
All in all, great run.
He ran off, so I think
You
that
tried
counts
to
as
give it like
winning.
a
This
moral-
experimental type of video was made possible by CuriosityStream.
You just tried to give it like a moral victory after death.
I think
and he died.
I think if the enemy runs off, that's a win.
Let me know what you guys think of this type of Tier Zoo video. Thank you, wife, for joining me.
I like
This
it.
is the most unique video I've seen from him.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that because it gives me a very broad view
Yeah.
on a lot of different things that I definitely have never considered. So that was a lot for me to learn in one vid. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you were really into it
I had
because
a
I
great
really
time.
liked it. And on to the next one, man. We got to keep it pushing. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.